Ooh, welcome back to another Gorilla Lots podcast. I'm Caden.
And I'm Matthew. Today, we've got a pretty exciting topic. AI and music and art. You've probably heard of robots creating music or generating art, and it's becoming a huge conversation in the entire world. Some people think it's the future, and others, they're a little more concerned about, how this puts up problems about what creativity really is.
It definitely is a pretty big deal because now AI is making music, designing visual art. Like, you can just ask it anything you want to, and it'll give it to you. And it's definitely shaking things up a bit in both good and bad ways, in my opinion. A little controversial, so that's kind of what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, AI can help artists and musicians create new things and music that is way more innovative. But on the other hand, there are real concerns about, originality, ownership, and whether AI is replacing human artists. So today, we'll break it all down.
So one thing we do have to consider is, can robots even make real music? Well, I guess they can, but is it even good? Like, yes, they can make music, but they're probably not going to make good music. That's the thing. Like, yes, they have the whole database, but when you kind of smush it all together, I don't think it'll actually really sound good. Because they're just taking popular sounds, and they're trying to mix it up and stuff like that. I don't think it will ever sound as good as, like, authentic people, like, singing music from, like, their heart. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, it's pretty impressive. Some of the music that these AI creates are sounding like real tracks that humans made. You could get, a pop song, a hip-hop song, a lo-fi beat, like, really anything. And while it's all composed by, an AI, it can really sound like what a human would make. It can really sound creative and good,
I do agree in some sense. It is very impressive that I can do this. Like, how it can, like, make this music, how it can make voices, like the president's, voices, Like, it can make these voices, and that is very impressive that it can do it. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, I don't think it'll ever sound quite as good, But I will say, it is kind of like having, like, with the AI, your own personal music producer who doesn't need any sleep, food, or even a coffee break. Like, it's, like, the big question, really, I guess what I'm saying is it really music if it's created by a machine? I mean, does a song have the same value if it's not coming from a human artist? This is for you. Like, I can tell you really like this, but do you think it really does have, like, the same touch as a human artist, kind of? Some emotions.
On one hand, music can sound good, right? But that really begs the question. Does music that sound good, is it really music? Or is music, something that's creative? So I don't really think AI can show creativity. It's just a mush of the algorithm.
That's what I was saying, right?
Yeah, it can sound good, but really, is that really creativity, And also, if, we can talk all about what creativity really is. But another more underlying problem is who owns it? Like, if AI makes music, it's kind of a copy of the entire database, right?
You could argue it's the person that makes it, but let's be honest. They put in a couple words like, oh, make me a beat that has this, and it'll just... Yeah. Like, they come up with the idea, but the machine does all the hard work.
There's no creativity in that. That's just kind of luck, then, at that point, if you're using AI.
Yeah, I mean... But I guess who else's property would it be? There's no one else.
That is true.
So it would only be the person, but it's just lazy, like, Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So it kind of breaks the whole purpose of why art and music was created in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And also, because this AI can generate music and it might get better, what will happen to the people who rely on, like, their musical talent to make a living? Like, just musicians, really. Like, this could be way in the future. But if robots actually start making good music, and you can make all this stuff for less money, for free, even,
That's a pretty hard question. I don't really have an answer for that. I guess that's really, a thought-provoking question that can be, a lot of different answers to it. So, let's move on.
Now, let's talk about AI and art. We just talked about it in music. Now, let's do it with art. So, AI has found its way into the visual arts, and there are programs like DALL-E, Midjourney. I don't know if you ever heard of them. I definitely have. But they can generate, like, really good pieces of art. Like, this is different from music. Like, this art is actually really good. And you could just do it from a single text prompt. Like, you can say, draw a futuristic city. Draw an elephant on top of a zebra on top of a mouse. I'm spitting out random stuff, but it will genuinely do the most random stuff. It's kind of crazy. It's really impressive, and you can do it in any style too. Like, do it in the style of Picasso.
Yeah, so it's kind of really mind-blowing how realistic it can be. And the thing is, it doesn't really just make simple designs, you know? It's not really limited to one style. So you can make it create something Picasso-like,
right,
or something really futuristic, or just make up a new style, you know? So it's endless what you can do, but it's just really good, you know?
Yeah, but it does kind of get complicated just because AI, it learns from existing art. It basically studies a bunch of pieces of art. It takes all that, it just, into its system, it takes a bunch of pieces of art, studies them, and then it outputs whatever you type in. Yeah, so that's just kind of how it works a little bit. But it's stealing a bunch of art from artists, and it's not asking them because it just like goes on the internet and finds these pieces. It's not asking for the permission. So that's where it kind of gets like the ethical stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as music, you know. AI, it really has the originality thing. Mm-hmm. It's not the artist's creativity. It has nothing to do with the artist. The artist never contributed to the artwork. So, but then they're the ones getting the paycheck. They're the ones getting the money. They're the ones getting the credit, the fame. So, like, why? Why can we justify that AI art is given to the man who typed in, give me a cool piece of art. It's not artistic. It's not creative.
Yeah, I know some artists, they definitely probably feel like AI is taking credit for their work that is essentially built on their style, and they should definitely get credit, but they're just not. So, yeah, and also one thing that's interesting is I wonder if AI artwork gets so prominent, right?
Yeah.
AI artwork gets pumped out so much. What if the AI, it starts like taking in that AI artwork as data? I feel like what would happen? Like maybe it would stay the same, but like maybe it would get like less creative or.
Yeah, it's kind of just that's kind of thinking about a hypothetical situation.
It'll just
right?
be like reusing its same stuff over and over again before. I feel like it just gets worse and worse. I could be wrong though.
Without human input, AI can't get creative because right now there's no creativity. Yeah, human data. You can't get creative with AI. So that really begs the question: if you need human input to make AI artwork, then the only thing that created the AI artwork should be the original human input,
Definitely.
right? It's just really hard to let AI art and our AI music to become a part of society because it's really hard to determine originality, creativity. I honestly don't think that it should ever find its place. AI should ever find its place in anything that has to do with creativity. I think that should be purely humans.
Maybe just like a tool.
Yeah.
Don't use
not
it.
Not even a tool.
You don't even think a tool.
I don't even think it should be used as a finisher because art is all about creativity. That's how it was made.
Right.
So I think it should belong to
I think
humans.
AI kind of removes that in your opinion.
Exactly.
So, yeah, AI definitely is an incredible tool that can help creators work fast. I definitely believe it can make them work faster, discover new ideas, and push the boundaries of creativity. But definitely, on the other hand, for you, it's more of like originality, ownership, and how you can't really stop people from using it too much and over the edge, so maybe just not at all.
So, yeah, that was a pretty thought-provoking podcast. Really, makes you think about what creativity really is and if AI should, find its place in art and music.
A lot of AI podcasts recently, but we'll switch it up, though. I think we will eventually, but it's just a lot of interesting stuff happens from it. Like, It's in so many industries that, like, AI, it's just such a big deal. But, anyways, we'll see you next time, and make sure to subscribe, and, yeah. See ya.